recipes for technical trading success in Cook's Kitchen.
Hey, Cooker here. Today we're going to take a look at Nvidia after GTC. So let's first take a look at the bull of the day I did on February 28th on Nvidia, because I want to tell you, I just want to show you what I told investors to look out for. You know, besides going over the basics of the tremendous growth in data center, overtaking gaming and revenue. I talked about the unstoppable demand for the king of AI, that theme and why. But then I told you, so, you know, an Nvidia fanboy that I am, an investor, I won't belabor you any further. I said, get ready, because something is coming in March in about 3 weeks. And that, of course, is GTC. And I said, you know, Jensen Huang and company, they got to do the GPU Tech Conference like at least twice a year, because there's so much innovation coming out of this company. You know, they couldn't cram it all into 2 or 3 days. They got to do it a couple times a year. So I said, get ready, March 21st, 24th, and, you know, put that on your calendar, because just watching the keynote from Jensen alone is a treat. As the Wizard of AI presents everything. And, you know, he's not, I call him the wizard, but part of his wizardry is that he knows how to find the best engineering talent in the world, and they know how to get their software and hardware stacks in the hands of developers. So thousands and thousands of developers around the world get access to NVIDIA tools, and then they build on that. So they're building the latest and greatest technology for their companies. All right, so then let's fast forward a couple of weeks, still before GTC. I did this Cook's Kitchen for you, Technically Constructive. The subtitle was Higher Lows on Ukraine Talks, because the S&P did make higher lows versus late Feb. So here was the Nvidia chart, and I'll just play this little section for you here. Hopefully you can hear this. Trying to hold up to. I'd be a buyer down here, 220. I mean, you gotta, if you don't have a position, you should be buying Nvidia right now. If you have a chunky position, you know, sort of wait this out, but you could nibble in the near 220. And then AMD, I profiled AMD yesterday for the top stock picks. Okay, so that was my basic spiel, is be a buyer of Nvidia at 220. So where is March 9th? So here's March 9th, where I was talking about that. You know, stock was already back up to 229, you know, closed near 230 by the time you saw that video on March 9th, but you got one more shot. I hope you took it, because look what's happened since. You know, Nvidia's up, you know, another $60. And part of the big move yesterday, March 24th, I'm filming this on Friday the 25th, was this chatter about Nvidia talking to Intel about using Intel foundries to make chips. Well, the market of semiconductor investors, analysts, and anybody else just went gaga over this news. You know, and I'm not sure why. It implies some good things. I mean, obviously, peace between Nvidia and Intel, and Nvidia using the home foundry, that kind of thing. But really, you know, this stuff was getting baked in during GTC. So let's look at, you know, I talked about this last night. I just told my people, I said, I reminded them, hey, the king of AI was a gift at 220 even before GTC, or before GTC, obviously. And I went over the details, but let's just go right. Oh, and what I showed him in my commentary last night was I just listed all the press releases. So, you know, if you had any doubt that Nvidia was going to wow the crowd with a lot of innovation, there's like 13 or 14 press releases in 1 or 2 days, just on all the news, you know, all the stuff coming out of the magic shop, so to speak. So that was cool. And if you want to learn more about this, then you just go to the NVIDIA newsroom. Go to nvidianews.nvidia.com. I tell people you should be looking in the NVIDIA newsroom once a week, because there's always something cool going on. whether it's in AI or enterprise or automobiles or gaming, if gaming is your thing. And remember, the reason AI or Nvidia is the king of AI is because gaming drives innovation in the massively parallel architectures of AI. Why? Because they do so much R&D with gaming to make those graphics better. They make the GPUs better, which makes artificial intelligence better through massively parallel architecture. So go to the Nvidia newsroom. You can see if you click here, you'll get the list of all those press releases plus deeper dives on some of the big things like Hopper architecture for data centers and enterprise. The DGX boxes. I mean, these things are incredible. Tens of billions of processors, and then you stack those DGX boxes together, and then you have a supercomputer. So any corporation can start to build their own supercomputer with these NVIDIA tools. And then there's always just other great stories here. Look at today's March 25th, and we got two more press releases. What is a transformer model? And NVIDIA research turns 2D photos into 3D scenes in the blink of an eye. So, and then there were still a bunch from two from March 24th. So, that's where you want to hang out. Let's see what else I wrote to my people last night just about analyst reactions. The thing is there's a lot of analysts out there with $350 price targets on NVIDIA, but none of them were pounding the table saying, "Hey, you should buy it here at 220," because everybody was worried about what the next leg down was because of the Ukraine war. And I can't blame him. I was a little bit cautious too. But Benzinga did a piece the other day, 5 NVIDIA analysts on AI inflection. It's a $1 trillion market. It's potentially a $1 trillion total addressable opportunity for NVIDIA. And so I've always liked the analyst from Rosenblatt because he really gets the vision. And I've talked about him before. Just understanding the inflection point for AI. J.P. Morgan had a great headline. NVIDIA remains 1 to 2 steps ahead of competitors. Listen, NVIDIA is 2 to 3 steps ahead of competitors, so that's an understatement. And AMD is a close second, and then there's nobody else. That's why I call it a duopoly. NVIDIA could be a category of 1, but AMD is right there doing a lot of the same things. So check out the NVIDIA newsroom and stick with me if you want to know where to buy and sell NVIDIA next. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen, and be sure to check out this week's promo, the Zacks Investor Collection. We'll talk to you next week.